Okay, now let us see full revision of the lesson laws of motion. Right. So we'll start with the we'll be discussing three laws of motion and their related terms in this lesson. The first topic here is the inertia. What is inertia? Inertia is the tendency of an object to resist any change of its position, either from rest or from motion, is called as inertia, right? So inertia is the measure of amount of matter present in an object, right? So it is its measurement is called the mass, right? The mass of an object is the value of the inertia of an object is the technical definition for mass relation between mass and the inertia. So inertia is the property of an object to resist change of its state from either motion or rest. So that is the first point. And the second thing is first law of motion, Newton's first law of motion. It states that an object will remain at a state of rest or of uniform motion unless an external force acts upon it. That is, if an object is kept at rest, it will be at rest. Or if an object is at uniform motion, if there is no any external force like air resistance, frictional force or any external force, then the object will be keep on moving in that particular uniform motion. For example, motion of the planet around the sun and the motion of moons around the planets are the examples for these things, because there is no friction or there is no air resistance or anything in space. Similarly, an object at rest, if you keep an object at rest, it will not move by itself unless there is an external force. So that is the example for this. And for inertia also we can say lot of examples. An object will try to resist change of motion. For example, if you are sitting in a bus, when the bus starts to move, you will resist that movement and try to be at rest. So you will fall backward, right? Similarly, if in a moving bus, if the brakes are applied, what will happen? You will fall forward because your object, you are already in motion and you are trying to move. When the brakes are pressed, the body comes to rest, that is the bus comes to rest, but your body still tries to move or try to resist that change in position, so it tries to move, so you fall forward. That is the point there. So like this, there are a lot of different examples here, like luggage is kept in the top of a car. Similarly, while you are turning left in a car or bus, you will be falling right side, or if you are if the object is turning towards right, you will be falling left side. And while you are jumping out of a running bus, you will be falling forward, right? Or in order to avoid that, you have to run along in the direction of the bus to avoid falling, fine. So similarly, when you beat a carpet with a stick, the dust comes out of it. Like this we can like this we can keep on saying lot of real life examples for inertia. So in your exam also, there will be a particular example given and it will be asked, you will be asked of why it is happening or what is the technical reason behind it. So you have to find whether it is third law or first law or second law, right? That is the point. Next, second law of motion. Before that, you need to know momentum. What is momentum? Momentum is mass in motion. Simply we can say mass in motion. So, and if an object is in movement, it will have some particular velocity v, and for every object there will be a particular mass m. So the product is called as momentum. So the product of mass and velocity is called as the momentum, which is represented by small letter p. So p equal to mv, momentum of an object defined as product of mass into velocity, right? Now coming to the second law, the second law states that the rate of change of momentum of an object is directly proportional to the external applied force, right? So if you externally apply a force, the rate of the momentum will change, and that momentum will change with the indirectly proportional to that force. If the force is high, the rate of change of momentum will be high. If the force is lesser, the rate of change of momentum will also be slower. Like imagine if you are hitting a ball with a bat, right? If you hit it slowly, nothing will happen. Even a person like just 2 or 3 meters away can catch it. If you hit it hard with a large amount of force, the momentum of the ball will be larger. So you cannot catch it from the uh, shorter positions. You have to go only near the boundaries. The ball can be caught because of the high force given from the bat. So the force is directly applied force is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. Fine. So we'll see what is this. So momentum is mass into velocity. What is change in momentum? Change in momentum is P2 minus P1, which can be written as m. P2 can be written as mv minus mu. Mass into velocity is momentum. So final momentum minus initial momentum. Final momentum mv, initial momentum mu. Right? Now what is rate of change of momentum? Rate of change in momentum. Rate of, as we have seen in the last lesson, rate of change of represents the change with respect to time. So mv minus mu with respect to time. So here m is common, so I can take m v minus u by t. What is v minus u by t? V minus u by t is a. So rate of change of momentum is equal to ma. And what is second law? From second law we can say this rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to m, right? So I can write f is proportional to ma or f equal to kma, and if k is equal to 1, the experimental determination of value of k is 1, so we can write f equal to ma. Force equal to product of mass and acceleration. So this product of mass and acceleration of the force is called as Newton's second law of motion. Force equal to mass into acceleration. That's it. Next topic is third law of motion. Newton's third law of motion. What is Newton's third law? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. The point here is equal and opposite. Which is equal and which is opposite? Equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. If this is 10 newtons, action is 10 newtons, reaction will also be 10 newtons. Similarly, if the direction is positive, here the direction will be negative. So that's how we represent f equal to minus f. This is the representation of third law of motion. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction, which is that is equal represents the magnitude, opposite represents the direction, right? That's it. So these are the three laws of motion: Newton's first law, second law, and third law. All of them are very important. So please understand them with the concept and also try to view related examples from for these laws. Last one is conservation of momentum. Law of conservation of momentum. What does law of conservation of momentum says? It says that initial momentum is equal to final momentum of an object. That is, the initial momentum of an object is equal to final momentum. What is initial and final? Let's say there are two objects which are moving in a particular direction. So they will have initial momentum and final momentum, right? So once they collide each other, they will move again with a different momentum. So here we say that the initial momentum before collision is equal to momentum after collision. Fine. Let's say if this object has a mass m1 and moving with a velocity u1, and this has m2 and moving with a velocity u2, then the final velocity of this object will be v1 and this object will be v2. Same m1, m2. So before collision and after collision we can write as m1 u1 plus m2 u2 equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. This is final momentum after collision. This is initial momentum before collision. So the law of conservation of momentum says that the momentum before collision is equal to the momentum of the object after collision, right? So that's it. This is the uh, whole second lesson. So the three important laws. Other than that, we have inertia, law of inertia, we have momentum, and we have this derivation F equal to ma, and lastly this law of conservation of momentum. For this also there is a very small derivation is there. You can see that in the book. It will be like just 3 lines, fine. So if you just thoroughly see this, you can easily answer all the questions in this lesson. And also uh, just like the motion lesson, in this lesson also we have lot of problems, and all those problems will be based on these formulas: P equal to mv, F equal to ma, F equal to minus F, or this initial momentum before collision is equal to final momentum after collision. So if you just remember these things and read the question properly and write the given data from the question, and represent and find what is to be found in that question, and apply the suitable formula from the studied topics, you can easily uh, get the solution for any problem. It is not a very difficult task. So just 3 steps: read the question properly and write the given data, substitute the appropriate formula. So if you do these 3 things, automatically you will get the solution for every problem. So kindly study this lesson thoroughly, and it is also important for in your future classes also. All these topics will be there, so it is also helpful there. So please study this conceptually. Thank you. Jai Guru.